So welcome everyone. So glad to have you here, and welcome to the future that arrived now and is real. So what we're gonna talk about today, we are talking of what happened before. So for some people that weren't before, we're gonna have a small rewind. Then we're gonna talk what we achieved in this month, and then the next steps. So let's go. But before that, let's meet again. So that's our growing team. And yeah, it's me again and Tim, and also our student assistants and interns that helped us to design and build the website, and a lot of supporting frameworks, which I wouldn't be able to do it without them, which I'm super glad for the help. And also, we are super grateful for the help from our partners, from Hasse, from Hind, the Werkplaats, WeIT, and Center for Entrepreneurs, of course, which is our biggest supporter, and the miners. So what is NextEd again? The NextEd is the first student-run incubator in the Netherlands. And we are the launchpad for your dreams, powered by TUAS. And we are trying to get people, students, to graduate or intern at their own startups. So let's have a rewind time. So in the past, we defined what makes the good incubator work, what makes us stand out, which is the community, which we already are building and is growing, and simple organizational structure reflecting what we have here at New Designers, and curriculum that is customized to your needs, and also digestible for students. So how we work? Hello. So how we work? We work with the NextEd Launchpad model, which we developed previously, which is based on a co-learning model. So it's experience first learning and not like typical learning, which is theory first and then you do. And also based on the Launchpad, Lean Launchpad, that is the mentorship, feedback, and the resources we give to the participants, as well as the ocean for coaching and the personal development. And our competitors, we analyzed the competitors, we found out our key strengths, which is especially the vertical academic connection worth mentioning, that we can gain the attributes and resources from other faculties to facilitate workshops, events, and support our incubator to thrive even further. And we imagined also the possible future with online intro course to the business, launchpad models, events, and the website. And we realized many of those futures today. So what we did now? Well, you definitely noticed we changed our look, and it's now more modern and reflects the youthful energy. It aligns also with our school's guidelines better, and represents itself as the sister company to the New Designers. And that's who we are. So we also want to offer some merchandise, and yeah, that's us, the program, validation program. We also took some new pictures to promote us around the New Designers, which was all gonna be our incubator space. And what is our new focus? Our new focus are the students. But don't you worry, don't forget about the teachers. They are also at our core. But to start with, we're going to start with students, as our research showed that a lot of people that do incubation are the students or fresh graduates. And that also proves on the data we found out on our university. And also there's huge interest from the MBO students that also found out from the research. So there's huge market to discover. And in this past month, we focused on two important things: developing our program and also building our presence online and offline. And we started with research. So we did some research in Belgium again, exploring the students, and as well in the Netherlands with the experts. So asking experts like from the Center of Entrepreneurs how to tailor our programs, what frameworks to use, and exactly how to make it work. So it's different and very customized to everybody's needs. So we found out that, okay, students want a clear overview how many weeks the program will take. So as with internship, They want to know what they're going to do and how it's going to take in crystal clear matter. The process is frictionless, so they are coached and also taught the frameworks so that they can work on their idea by themselves and also have this really nice guidelines so they don't feel lost, which also the data showed that a lot of them feel lost, and we don't want that. And also develop their mindset first with Ocean, with coaching every week, every month we have check-ins. So they compare to themselves how they develop. And the vertical integration of university, what mentioned before, is the most powerful thing, that we have a lot of faculties that we can collaborate with and organize a lot of things. So we offer a wide variety of resources to people that join us, and that's also our huge differentiator. So that's why we came up with our program, which is completely new, and it's the Startup Clock program. So we came up with Clock as the idea that it's very familiar to a lot of us and also puts on the map how you're going to work by week and by cycle and the chapter. So first, let's dive in what it is. So it's based on the research paper and handbook by Tone Pudding that will arrive hopefully today. And we revived his ideas. He did in the past the research to us about the incubation and how to make it work. So it was already a guide ready for us. We just needed to make it pretty and also work for the new generation. So we implemented cold learning model at our heart, which happens in each quadrant of the clock all the time, every week, every day. You start with experience, you reflect, you conceptualize, and you do it again. And also the tools like Basecamp that you plan out the weeks, and with ShapeUp and the Ocean. So we teach you to reflect, to coach, to grow as a person. So again, the center every day, experience, reflection, experiment first. So like the lean launchpad, like the lean startup methodology here. And then the first quadrant is the part of chapter 1, idea validation. And that is idea exploration, week 1 to 5. We meet it in the first week. We discuss, okay, what are the methodologies? Where's the incubator? You are matched with your co-founders if your idea is really big or a lot of people have similar ideas. It's very something welcome. And also we evaluate first your mindset, so then we can compare as you move forward and introduce the canvases, value proposition canvas, first versions, and that all happens in 5 weeks. Those are certain things we touch on, but those aren't limited to that, because we use the Basecamp and ShapeUp methodology, which by its core is that you are free to set your own goals depending on your project and idea, which is what we thrive to do here, so it's customizable to you. And the chapter 1 idea validation, quadrant 2, so the cycle 2, is I think it's the Tone calling me? I'm not sure.
Yeah, can be, yeah.
Can be.
Yeah. Did we pick up?
He already stopped. I'm not sure.
But
But maybe you can call him. Anyway, so it's the cycle 2, the feedback synthesis, and here, based on the previous ideas you explored and pivots.
So he's arriving.
He's arriving. Okay, so maybe it's someone else. By any means, you shape your solutions that you previously pivoted on. It doesn't need to be defined here. You still can pivot, change your ideas. And of course, you start every cycle with planning, with your coach, with yourself, with your team, if you have the team, and do certain canvases that we're gonna add still to our project. And you keep on reflecting and creating. And then here, this one is less defined, because again, you define what you do and we guide you with this. So you're not off the rails as many times happens in incubators, but we still are here with you every week, every day. We guide you, and also you make the plan at each 6-week cycle, what you want to achieve, but you don't have to certainly have idea what you're going to do every week. And in this case, you validate your ideas into tangible MVPs, and you make certain things. And definitely with everybody, depending what stage they're going to arrive, because everybody's going to be different, they present to stakeholders at the end of week 10 and to investors to get some traction. And that's what our program is. It's very flexible. It's no hard guidelines. This is also what we got from the hackathon we've been at last week, that giving people freedom to delve into their ideas allows them to learn way faster. And we offer flexibility, right? So again, this is at our core, very flexible. You can do what you want, but you have guidance so you don't get lost. So again, topic selection, we have a few predefined ones, which I'm going to show in a minute, but you're free to choose what you want. You have guidelines as part of the clock. Your adaptive learning tools like Figma for design and also for development, the Basecamp, and other supporting documents. And again, customizable cycle process. It's very custom. That's our main goal, is it's custom. And shape your learning. So our focus is educational technology overall. And we have a few topics that align also with the TUAS knowledge agenda for 2024 and beyond, which is just society, transition to sustainability, and digital future. But if you have something in between those categories, it's also welcome. So, but how do we know it works, right? It's just theory. We don't know. We know that it does work because we did the startup tactic dog fooding just on ourselves since February 1st. It's been constantly tested by me, obviously. So, because as I was building the incubator, I basically were following the clock that then it didn't exist. But we did use the frameworks, the shape up, the bi-weekly meetups, coaching, setting up my own goals, and the goals changing as you go, pivoting. It all happened, and as visible here, all happened successfully. So it is doable. Of course, it requires driven individual, and we are looking for such people. But it is very much possible with great coaches like Tim, and also the team to support you if you choose to be matched. So it resulted in the successful launch of our incubator under just 3 months, which we anticipated to take the whole 5-6 months that we planned. So it already shows it is really, really efficient. And in that time frame, there was a lot of research done, over 35 hours of just interviews, and a lot of kilometers traveled between countries and all over the Netherlands, and many frameworks researched and documented for our internal use cases, and the team built all as well. And we also experimented with the teachers at the co-creation. We co-created with them at the Hint Hackathon last Thursday and Friday. So it was really nice, and it just showed that what we learn here and practice and develop also, we tried to use there while facilitating the teachers' innovation, which is also what we're going to expand in the following year or the next 2 quarters. And that means, yes, we didn't forget about the lecturers. So as previous data showed, there's huge interest also in teachers, and we won't forget about you. So now that we know how we look and how it works, let's see what's next. So the next steps. So we will be present at the CMD date, where we're gonna show our program with flyers that you see on your tables. And yeah, we're gonna pitch the high tone. We're gonna pitch our incubator through the flyers and the program, so people can have hands-on experience and take it home with them. And with the posters that are already posted around the school and the building, but we're gonna put them in more places so people can scan the QR code and register on the website. And also the brochure, which is available digitally. We're gonna also print some physical ones as well. So it's a lot of touch points that people can explore who we are, what we do, and learn and get interested. But that's not all. We launched our website in less than 2 weeks, even in just a week actually, and 3 days. So let's check it out together and go about it. So that's our website in the current state. So we basically show you stop dreaming about your business idea and take control of your dreams. So this is our main tagline to encourage young people to just do it, just join us and do the thing that they always dreamed about. And we provide this opportunity as part of the internships and graduation internships. And you can schedule info session with Tim, or download the brochure, or apply to our program for form. And that's our website. So we compare certain parts. Does this sound like you? And so you'll get pitched how we work. And we have some testimonials from past also individuals that did similar program here at New Designers, and about us and our partners. The website, just to say, it's still in development, but it's already launched and can be accessed to people, and they can register successfully and also learn about the Startup Clock program that we developed and similar things we already mentioned with FAQ. So that out of the way, let's continue. So what's next? So what we're gonna focus, what we're gonna build, as this is already done. We're gonna build, first we're gonna pilot it, right? We're gonna test it, otherwise that we tested it by ourselves. Of course, there's some bias involved. So we'll see on the people that have no idea how it works, what it is, and they have just idea. So we're gonna collaborate with Center for Entrepreneurship. Actually, we already got a few students from the Center for Entrepreneurs. So this is what we're gonna focus next. And we're gonna make online presence with the NextEd on LinkedIn, on Instagram. So you're gonna grow even more visible to the public. And yeah, and also one of our team members did some thorough research on AI implementation, how to streamline our program and especially the mindset and development through ChatGPT, and to ease up the coaches, because we only have a limited amount of coaches, and to make this more streamlined. So that's also something we're gonna test out with our participants from Center for Entrepreneurs. And our North Stars, so we showed it last time. We've been here, the research phase, and this phase that already finished today with this presentation was the building phase. So we developed program and we soft launched it before the summer holidays, and this was supposed to happen at the end of June. So we're already in the next phase, which is we already launched. So we are recruiting participants and testing. So as you can see, we are moving very fast. So in the coming next 2 months, we are aiming to tweak it, test it, and do those things we mentioned. And that's NextEd. Thank you so much. So do you have questions? Yeah, it's a question. Okay, so just, yeah, it's okay. But just to mention, the key point was the program, which is the Startup Clock program that we developed.
It's cool.
Yeah, so we developed it based on your Incubator handbook that we said was long forgotten, and we revived it. So it includes the co-op learning model. So it's experience first and not theory first, like in traditional education. And that happens in every quadrant of the clock. And it's based on the shape up methodology that we used here internally since February, proving that it allows for streamlined flexibility of the tasks you set yourself to achieve, and also you know what to expect at the end of the time. So you always meet the deadlines. And the ocean, so you evaluate your personality traits, and it's nicely divided in quadrants, and it's easy to visualize for students and teachers later on how to work, because it's a familiar concept of a clock. So that's the key point. And other things is the customizability, flexibility, and freedom of choice. So, yes.
So you're gonna work with that with the startups, or are you also going to research it? Look to the professor over there.
So we already researched it very much. So now we're testing it. We already been testing this on this subject on me for past 3 months, and it showed success because we're here already. And the website is pretty much finished, and all the marketing material is finished. Who we are, what we do, how we're gonna do it, it's all done. So it just showed it's possible with this clock, even though the clock then wasn't existing idea, but we used the frameworks present here to make it happen. So right now we will collaborate with Center for Entrepreneurs to develop, to improve, to test it with the participants that know nothing about us, that know nothing how it works, to see the missing points and improve it so it's ready for launch in September. Yeah.
I was professor or lecturer before on entrepreneurship and useful finance at this university. Together with Tony, we worked on a lot. And I just want to share a few experiences with you and also ask you.
Yeah.
Are you the only students running this program? Are you the entrepreneur?
Well, I started with Tim, but yes, we are the only ones.
Yeah, okay, because I think that is a very good thing, because we try to set up an incubator run by students that will also then finance businesses presented by students.
Yeah.
And what we found out is that if you have too many people running it, it will not work. It will not run at all.
Yeah.
You need an entrepreneur with a vision. Yeah, and I really sense that you have a vision. You want this happen.
Yes, I want this happen. I am here since like it was conceived actually with Tim. So I also talked with Tim to stay here and continue the journey full time after the graduation, because I'm here from the beginning and I did all this research by myself with help of all the supportive students working here. But yes, also what we found out is that small teams, more agile, like we have Tim, Mila, Stephanie here, they all collaborate perfectly and they run new designers. And that just proves that exactly small team is the power. We don't want distribution of layers, and we all equal here.
You're not bound to any time frame for yourself.
No. So I mean, we
found out when we were asking students to run this organization, they were very much glued to the educational program. So they only had 3 months available or 6 months, and then they would disappear again. So asking students to come in your program, your learning program, I can very well understand that will work. But ask them to participate in your incubator and manage part or administer, or be promoter. It's very much depending on their own study program.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult to really keep them with you. You only had one guy that was willing to do so.
Yeah, so we're running the learning company New Designers for 4 years almost. And what we notice is that we're outside the regular curriculum because we don't have the curriculum here. We just, you want to work here, you work here.
Yeah.
So already a lot of people, there are now 22 students working here part-time.
Yeah.
They can just go help. I'm now currently working with finance and control with one student, and he's managing all the budget with me.
Yeah.
So that's stuff I can imagine happening for the incubator as well, because we already have this in place. An incubator is sort of extra on the learning company. And because we get a lot of questions of students wanting to do projects or start companies, but also teachers with great ideas. Yeah, we're lucky because we already have the infrastructure in place.
Yeah.
Do you still have this annual market where people present their business ideas downstairs?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we had Hague, right? Last student investment fund.
Yeah,
It's a new thing. Yeah.
it works that's a very motivating exercise.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I have to say that before Hague,
there was already.
Yeah, you're not the first one.
No,
Yeah, we have Incubator.
Toon is in the HBO Kennisbank, Toon. Thank you for writing it. It really inspired us. Yeah. And I was amazed that it was kind of lost knowledge, like nobody told me, and there is an incubator already
Yeah.
like being researched.
We're ready for the system.
Yeah.
Maybe you were here or something.
Yeah, too early.
But did you,
Created the investment fund. That was the incubator. High five.
and what was the reason,
Investment fund.
and how, so what was the reason that it now stopped and nobody knows?
Oh, that was very simple. They didn't want an independent organization within the university
Mhm.
because we wanted to create a foundation to run it and to spin it off, and that was not possible.
I know
And one
that.
thing, and the other thing was that what I mentioned before, we wanted to have also run by students, and they would only stay for 6 months and disappear. But we even had funding there and financing students to start up the businesses.
Nice. That sounds
We did
great.
4 investments, 1 repaid, and 3 disappeared. Yeah, but it's very easy to find funding for that
Mhm.
outside.
That sounds good.
Yes, it's very appealing. If you just know how to go around, you will find money very easy. Money is never a problem.
Good to hear.
Yeah, it's good. That's good. No. Yeah.
You go from Fonds 1818 in
Okay.
2 weeks time.
Wow, that sounds great.
So.
Talk to you.
Yeah, give us the guidebook for this.
I even managed to have it as a subordinated loan. Yeah, it was about 80,000 euros. Subordinated loan, and it would be converted into a grant if
Yeah.
it would fail.
Okay.
Perfect construction.
Yeah.
And then somebody within the bureaucracy said, we do not accept loans.
Yeah.
It's too risky. So they have an own equity here of say how many millions,
Yeah.
and then 80,000 was too risky.
I mean, times have changed, because we now have the new vision of the to us. And I think, talking about co-creation and all the topics you mentioned, hopefully there's a new wind blowing.
New wind of change. Yeah.
Yeah, but, it's good to hear that. I mean, through all failure, great things come. I mean, we're here now because of, not Toon especially, but you've written about it and inspired us to continue this project.
And another feedback,
Mm.
Yeah. cut out 80% of the words for students. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're also
Could you give us some examples of the EdTech channel that you've chosen? What kind of products or product market?
so I chose it because initially a lot of teachers came and are still coming to new designers with educational technology startup ideas like FlickThing and many others they developed. And initially they were lacking a structured way of guiding them through the process. So initially it was less about incubator, more about the framework, how to help new designers. Now it's of course helping new designers, and we all implemented here how we work, and it's doubling our efforts. But mostly it came from that. For the students, of course, we tell them like, yeah, we focus on the educational technology, and it's also growing market from our last presentation with research, because there's a lot of investment happening currently with in the Netherlands as well, as we showed, I think, in the last presentation. Let me play it here, where we discovered that there's a lot of funding happening in the Netherlands, also where I did the research in the Belgium. I think it's here, but no, I don't think it's broken a little bit. Yeah, anyway, but let me just see this. Yeah, so for example, the Netherlands. Yeah, so at the landscape we discovered it's okay. It's like the last, as of that was the data from last year or 2021. That's from 2021, and we're at the end of Europe. But we are the fastest growing, so that's why there's a lot of new tech companies plopping around the country. We have a lot of startups in this, a lot of funding coming up, and the growth is the fastest. And also I talked a lot of educational companies that did develop in incubators like Yes Delft Utrecht, and they didn't get specific support. They would like to have a specific support tailored to their expertise. So that's why we focus on educational technology, because we are educational institution. We have many experts sitting in this room about educational technology. But we, of course, welcome, as showed in the other slides, people that do even anti-aging cream, like Rick mentioned. So we all welcome everybody, and especially to certain topics. But that's our focus because of this. Yeah.
Basically, we don't know yet how many students will apply. Yeah, so because we launched today. So. So that's, I mean, it can be one sole student, but we of course hope for like 5 or 10 that start in September doing their graduation or internship here to test. I mean, it is also an experience, like you said.
Yeah, it's experiment.
If you limit the number, you will get more.
Okay, good.
If you say only 10 can participate, it will sell better.
Yeah. Okay.
Sounds great.
Andreas, we had a discussion on the phone, but let's do it again here.
Yeah.
And that is the business model of the incubator itself. And so who is your main customer? Where does the money come from?
Also the money, so I thought about what you said then, and that's why I also pivoted from, because first we thought like opening up like usual incubators, that they are open and anybody can join, but we don't have such funding and power right now. So we focused on students because there is money for internships. Just like at New Designers, you can do the internship. The university will pay for it, but they won't give grants to students like they do to teachers. So our business model is to just get support from university, from tuition to pay for the internships that happen here for now.
So the university pays the internships.
Yeah.
That can run the program.
Yeah, so they pay us, New Designers, NextEd, the money, and then we can.
So, and there's also what the second question we discussed. So what is the main added value that you bring your finance party or your client? So what is the highest added value that you can bring the university with this?
Well, the highest, I think, value we bring is the recognizability. And also bringing together separated institutions like HASEF, Center for Entrepreneurs, HIND, lost in the sea of TUAS, and nobody sees them. And I think we are like this beacon of new light that we show that there's so much innovation happening. And there is actually a lot of things happening and many people are involved. And by doing this, is also we are showing like, okay, in The Hague is also something happening, because our university, out of many famous ones in the Netherlands, is lacking incubator program. And we are also unique in this sense. A lot of people are very enthusiastic about New Designers when they found out like you're run by students, like it's so cool, like how you do it. So even there's the Utrecht University is even interested in doing like new developers there. So there is traction. Yeah. So in the basis, it brings a lot of value, so recognizability, cohesion, and it's good advertisement for university.
There is a very interesting business case to make. If you create a fund in which you invest in the businesses set up by your incubating students, you can expect some return.
Yeah, because many incubators are this week.
Secondly, to create such a fund, it's pretty easy through crowdfunding amongst graduated people who have graduated from this university. They're very much willing to participate in such funds, provided the university does not manage it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. I mean, also from our research, it showed that the incubators take like 2%, 5% out of like the success fee, or a certain amount, like 2,000 euros out of 150,000 revenue. So there are certain like ballparks, or like in Amsterdam, they also have like, if many startups fail and one succeeds, then it founds the incubator as well. And in the end goal, we would like to be, if it is really big thing, separate BV. So there's a lot of dreams and possibilities.
Yeah. Yeah, but the vibe is going on. There's also someone starting, it was like a security center, 24 hours open, and he started at the UvA, the first BV there. He's currently a lector here, just started a month ago, but he's really interested in starting like a holding where students can put their holdings underneath it. But yeah, to us, higher management, of course, have to allow it and support it. And I think that's the next step.
Supporting it.
Of course.
You're supporting, that's good.
Yes.
But also the BV, so, and also one of the bigger issues could be a student thinks of an idea, whose idea is it? Because you do it inside this building, you're making use of the material here, so that's yeah. We really need to be careful on that.
I do think that most sustainable way of financing it is according to the studiebudget. So the credits students will receive, because we have been doing so for more than 10 years with our entrepreneurship minors, and it works really well. And you become less dependent on the faculty director that is liking this project or not.
But the problem is that this is not entrepreneurship anymore. This is just like any other minor. You don't make business. And we also discussed this last time. It's if you do it for study points, it's not incubator anymore. And the real incubators that we compete with, they don't have study points. They have a lot of funding. And if you want to beat us for this university with that, we need to have real funding, and we need to start with this. And also Helen is in talks with Gemeente.
Yeah.
So we also might get funding there. So
I think that you ask yourself the question: what is the primary purpose of a University of Applied Sciences? And we are not business coaches. We are not municipalities that need to foster the entrepreneurial ecosystem. We are a player of the ecosystem, and we do not have to play all the actors and all the acting roles within the ecosystem.
Yeah, but if you look at Plant or YesDelft, they're now in The Hague, so they're filling up a space which is left.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of a pity, I think.
You mentioned something very important, which we also mentioned, we found out when we were trying to set up our companies. At the bottom line is, this is an educational center. So you have to spin off a little bit of it, put it a little bit aside your educational organization. Otherwise you get tremendous problems when it's becoming to be a success. If you're very small, they won't notice it, but think about it already now. Because the moment you are presenting it as an incubator, it will not go.
But we're doing the safe side, so we're doing the study point version because you're doing your internship at your own company, basically.
Yeah.
So we're doing the safe version, except when you're finished, what happens next? Are you going to finish your studies, or are you going to continue your startup?
Yeah, but like our director said, that the rules can bend, and especially that now is the wind of change. Some things are hard to change. That's why young people like me are standing here today in front of you to change the status quo, because status quo is like we can't do it, right? Because we need to do the study points. But if we did it, it can bring tremendous success to university. And our focus from last presentation also was that it's education first incubator. So it's not commercial. We don't want to be commercial. We want to be in symbiosis with university, and for as long as possible, even if we are big, to be the image of the university, not to run away from it. Maybe be independent in the future, but help each other out and grow each other. So and put us on the map of the Netherlands and in The Hague. So I think this is doable.
I have another question. How do you visualize providing the knowledge support to the students? Like if they request some specialist knowledge, where do you, from the network, get the specialists to help?
So from our partners, we're gonna have list of experts that won't have certain hours available during the week to talk with the participants. Certain on site, of course. So that's how we're gonna provide them, and yeah, from the network, from Hasse, from you guys, from Center for Entrepreneurs. That's how we try to.
Because you mentioned these coaching sessions,
Yeah.
etc. And
Mhm.
if you maybe have 5 or 10 people in your incubator, that might take up quite some hours. And that means that you might need to have some structural hours actually. And then how is that being funded, or?
Yeah, so we're gonna have here team on site, of course. As we start very small, it's gonna be Tim. And if I go to join full time, will be me. We also looking to hire Laura, which was present at the last. So we're trying to make also some vacancies to support us, and to focus also on like the other side of the coin, on students that want to maybe help to run the incubator. So
are there also like experienced entrepreneurs in the program? Because you're setting up businesses maybe, and
so yeah, Tim is versatile with that.
So all the coaching is with me.
Yeah. Tim is here forever, you know. So
Yeah, great questions, but that will solve when we get there. And I think like getting 5 people, I will be super happy.
Yeah.
So and maybe even more, but that's a problem we're going to solve. And Peter supports us, and I think in the end of the day, it's getting the right people in. Is just asking your network, maybe giving a little bit of a fee to those people, but I don't see a big problem in that sense. But I understand your question comes from, hey, don't forget you have to support the coaching.
Yeah.
Because your experience the same thing downstairs.
Well, we do. We're currently working on making support more structural. So we see in startup, there are always questions coming in.
Yeah.
I think you'll also experience it. Essentially growing step by step, having more questions coming in, and it is not. It might be more better to make it more structural.
Yeah.
For example, in startup, we're thinking about having someone sit there maybe 2 hours a day, so that it's really lowly accessible. Just walk in, because the startup is actually the start. So you walk in, I have this idea, but don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And therefore, such a lowly accessible way, actually walking in, between 2 and 4, I can.
But do you see us collaborating in that sense? Because I see that we're coexisting and we collaborate.
Yes.
Well, this just might be confusing. I'm looking from the outside in, and one of the first questions is how does it relate to ASIF? How does it relate to the Center of Entrepreneurship? I mean, you can explain it, but when I'm just stepping in for the first time, I don't know where I'm going. So should I go to you? Should I go to you? What should I do? So that's something that puzzles me. But that can be, of course.
I mean, as I've seen students at this university, and when I joined, I have no clue about such organizations existing. And even till the very end of my life, like my career here at the university, my studies, I didn't know about much. I mean, I've heard about HASE, about Center for Entrepreneurs, not really. But so it's, I think they first, mostly, not to discredit anybody, they will find about those organizations through us. So starting with designers, us, and then they'll go down. So like we supporting, and also from people that know those organizations or are involved, they will find about us. And we're not trying to compete with each other, because not like with minors, like there's also a fantastic point from Rick, think about like how it relates to minors. So we're also trying not to make it as long like as minors. And also it's different, because we are trying to make a more real business cases and develop real businesses, and also it's more comprehensive package, I think.
I get that it's I get fully it's a bit confusing currently, because when you look at how things are organized there in the organization, like the Center for Entrepreneurs is kind of the umbrella of all entrepreneurship activities, and
there we are.
Might also fall under the umbrella, the same as that you have the startup and the educational development, entrepreneurship development courses, minors.
Yeah.
But
they're not well. So we're now in the faculty of IP and design, and lots of students, I think most students don't know startup. And I think that's also like, because you have all these silos of faculties, and I think we're trying to break them now. And the question is indeed a great one, like how do you collaborate and not be competitors of each other? I think, yeah, we have a really nice program, and you guys have supporting minors and the startup. And I think you can just ask people to join you and then join us. So have like a really nice flow in collaboration.
Yeah, or make it like more chronologically.
Yeah.
So therefore, you get the idea of, I have this idea and you need to talk to someone.
Yeah.
This is the incubator would not be the right place. Startup would be the right place.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But for example, if you would have, maybe you're sitting in the startup for 2 years already, and you think, well, I'm ready for the next step. I want to make more professional development. Such program could be a fit for that. But I do think there was some confusion, as you mentioned, like, oh, we're doing all these entrepreneurship activities here and there and there. Therefore, the umbrella Center for Entrepreneurs is created, and I do see the value in well, having it under this umbrella, this overarching branding of the Center for Entrepreneurs.
So you would be the, let's say, the parent behind the brand. So the brand is EdTech, right? For incubating.
Yes.
And you're the parent behind it. So if I have a question, I want to start a business. You say, well, the routing towards a business of your own is, well, start with us, then you go to EdNext. Could it be that? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have, I mean, there could be not only confusion but also threshold, where students say, "Oh, that's too complicated for me. Just show me the way for the question that I have."
And that is basically like the thing we want to create at the startup, like these 2 hours just walking,
Okay.
just and then throw your questions at us, and then we can look at the umbrella and say, well, actually, this start your own business minor we have.
Yeah.
If you are in an entrepreneurship study, well, that might be your fit. If you're a bit further, well, you can sit here in the startup, hold your meetings, have a workplace, and get coaching directly from fitted experts. Well, if you're a bit further, well, maybe the incubator could be a great fit. So it's basically this desk. You ring the bell and say, hey, where can you lead me to?
Yeah. And we are the specialists in making things. So we're making apps, websites, complete programs. So I think that people want to have their companies about digital tooling or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, we can make it happen here with all the expertise we have running around. So I think
That's your good proposition, and that needs to be very clear.
Absolutely. You should
That's-
start with that.
Exactly,
I
because
think-
that's what I missed in your story. That's why I asked, it's EdTech, right? You know, so it's, if you choose a channel, that might be very much of added value instead of we can do it all because you can't.
Totally.
So
Yes.
it could be.
changed it a couple of times. I mean, in the end, we're afraid of just saying EdTech and nobody shows up. So
Yeah.
we're now currently saying
Yeah.
EdTech and everything. You don't want to limit it. I understand where you're coming from.
But I think that if you want to finance it following those student, then you will have an automatic restriction on the type of students you will attract. Because if you only attract those students that are enrolled in the CMD program, simply because not every program will allow these kinds of internships. So we can only be offering this program for the student, to specific students, or everybody needs to change their whole piece, and that's
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we found out also. Utrecht offers this as very optional thing because there's this limitation, which we found out earlier. But we starting with this because we are limited by founding, so our hands are cuffed in any way we go. So, yeah.
Maybe as an example, that in the past we offered some additional support and coaching to students that participate in our minors, but that were actually enrolled in other kind of bachelor programs, and they would receive that additional coaching and supervision to help them get allowed to where teachers on their own company. Right. And I think that could be an option, but then you always have to deal, or the team has to deal with the exam committees of the various programs.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that it's aligned with all kinds of requirements. It's difficult, but I think that Edwin, which we have in the past, did so, try to arrange it.
Yeah.
We have had some successes, but it's good. And maybe we can also include this in the pursuit of Federal Mind, and she wants to pursue the option of having a entrepreneurship arrangement like the top sport regeling, so that if you are, let's say, branded as some additional services and facilities, so that could also be an option.
That's really nice. Yeah.
Mm.
And it's also, I think, about learning how to
Yeah.
take, with, if you have a special view on entrepreneurship and you really want to endorse it, then, yeah, if you have a learning outcome and you can learn it through having your own business, then there shouldn't be a problem with an exam committee in the future anymore.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would say it would have greatly benefited me as a student entrepreneur. So I have a medical technology company next to my entrepreneurship study in the third year, and in circular resources for the hospitals. And it takes quite a lot of time. So I've like the past 1-2 months since I started like my internship, doing study internship, work, other work. It's like days of like 10-13 hours, and there's like, it is very hard to keep combining everything. And when you have this special arrangement for top sporters, I think if you support student entrepreneurs, it would also benefit to see, hey, how can we help these student entrepreneurs fit in their business, and that is from having a small e-commerce business to like larger projects, and see, hey, how can we support these students? We support entrepreneurship, but then also how can we help them get along
That's the key question. How can we support
and keep them in the course and not fall out?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
There's not many people. I think that many people. We have seen many students who have a successful business. They say, "Adios. I'll choose for my business." I'm trying to keep in the loop, but I must say it is hard work.
Yeah, so that's why I started with internships, because then you have full time and not much else happening. Like from data from Delft, I talked with them. They also try to incentivize people to not, so they don't support culture of dropping out to start business. So that's why they rarely, very rarely do take students that are actively studying, because of course it's a lot. So they just take graduates and other people that are already a few years after studies. But I do make exemptions if you really can prove you can manage it. And of course, we're also trying to find people that can manage it. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody, and also that's why I start with internships as a balance.
This can also be graduation. So
Yeah.
like if you're searching for your graduation.
Yeah.
But Andreas, don't slow down. Don't let red tape be of any hindrance to you. Don't let me be of any hindrance to you. I think it's very important to create a fact rather than discussing what is possible, what is not possible. Just do it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
yes.
that's the whole
That's a
thing.
good one. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, and that's what we're gonna continue doing, what we mentioned here. So we're gonna start with testing, and as we fly, we're gonna find some obstacles, but we're gonna work around them and do it. And as we were doing this right now, we're gonna continue doing it.
I think it's great, and I think we really need it. I think it could be added value to everything that we have already, as long as we can add value to each other.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we want.
I noticed, I just got from the city The Hague, because the plans, I told you about it as well, Ronald and I are working on this, the University of Leiden, Delft, yes, they do have their locations, and yes, they are trying to get the place grounded.
Yeah.
But this could make us so much stronger, but we have to show it. And our story is not very clear in this, so we need to have a bigger story, and I think this could be, like a nugget that we should treasure, and I think we need to be discussing this not only in bewerkingen denken, but also, yeah, to see how we can position it and how we can make this a bigger thing together instead of everyone on its own island.
Yeah.
So that would be my challenge as well. But then we have to discuss this in funding with Vedomijn for the top sports approach.
Yeah.
I think there's many possibilities.
Yeah, and putting it in the news, right? Because that's the problem with TUAS. Great things are happening, but putting it into a thing,
Yeah, I mean, not to be too modest, like doing it and trying to experiment and seeing how it works and where you have to pivot. That would be, yeah, it would be a great way of learning for you guys and for us as well.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, that's why we're very grateful that you're here.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of the collaboration that
Yeah.
we are wishing.
Yeah. So,
I've noticed Andreas this year, we were at the HINT program last week with the hackathon and Andreas was in our group. Performing and it's just,
Yeah.
marvelous how you do this. So,
thank you.
good work.
I'm super grateful that you joined today. It's very important for us, for me. So happy to be part of the initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ja, Peter, we gaan lekker door.